Hi, K5EMB here. I'd like to introduce you to 5 advanced software configurations for LightShowPi and the Pi. Feel free to skip around if you need to, and as always, if you need additional assistance, just go to the Google LightShowPi community. And one thing to note, these are my favorite things to do with LightShowPi. This is not a comprehensive list. Furthermore, Wi-Fi may vary by country and may not be the case if you have an unusual setup. Auto startup may be performed a couple different ways. Using the cron tab is another popular method. FM out will work with all 3 models, but your performance will definitely vary depending on your situation, your antenna, and many factors. Streaming in is probably best left to the Pi 2 or 3 because of the amount of CPU that it requires. Alright, so let's get Wi-Fi working. Check your interfaces with if config, and you can see here that you have a wireless device connected. However, it has no IP address, and so to connect to an access point, you want to modify 2 files. You'll need to do this as root, so I suggest you sudo to the root user. It's just easier that way, so you don't have to type in sudo commands all the time. su dash. Now you're the root user. Go to etc network. And you'll see there's a file in there called interfaces. That's the one that you want to use. Now I've created an interfaces.new that has the changes that we need. If you look at interfaces, you'll see this line controls your Ethernet, and this will control your wireless. Now, just to speed things up, I'm going to make a backup of the interfaces file. And then put in the new file. And now you can see this is commented out. Allow hot plug and iNet DHCP. Now WLAN 0 is also iNet DHCP. Now this is the next file that we need to work with because this this file references it. Etsy WPA supplicant WPA supplicant.conf. Now I've also Etsy WPA supplicant. I've also made a file of that. You'll notice the default file only has these lines in it. It's also set for Great Britain. What you want to do is make a backup. And then I'll move my file with the changes into place. a look at the file with changes in it. And you'll see here, I changed the country to US, but there are all these lines as well. Now, SSID, of course, is going to be your SSID, your access point name, and this right here is where your access point password goes. It really should be as simple as that. I'll give you a second to take a look at that. All right. Now I'll save that and reboot. Of course, we're already sudoed to root, so we don't need to sudo reboot. Now, one thing that I prefer to do for convenience is to cause the LightShow to start up as the Pi starts up. Now, to do this, I put in a very simple script to start and stop the synchronized lights.py program, and I'll show you how to do that now. Again, you probably want to sudo to the root user, then go to etc init.d and create a new file, and I will call mine lspi, just to keep things short. And I'll write a little script in here. Where it sets the synchronized lights home variable to your LightShowPi directory, and then runs it if it's a start, and then kills it if it's a stop. Pretty simple. Now, just putting that file in there will not cause it to run on startup. What you need to do is update rc.d lspi defaults. One thing I forgot is you need to make this file an executable. So changing the executable bits on it with chmod 755 should do it. And then you can run this. Now that's just a warning. It shouldn't give you any real issue there. And that should run it on startup. Now, to start it and stop it, you can also use service lspi stop or start. Alright, now let's set up FM playback from your LightShowPi directory here. Edit your overrides.cfg file, and I'm assuming you haven't done anything with this yet. If you have, it's not a problem. Comment out using the basic GPIO pins, and uncomment this line so that 21 is used. Now you'll have to adjust your wiring, of course, but pin 7 will be used for the FM. Now we'll go down here further. And this is a rather large file, so we will turn FM on by setting this to true. Set your favorite frequency, and I found a good one for myself. Now this light delay is an interesting feature. With the FM output, there's often a slight delay between the lights and what's broadcast. So to synchronize that, I found that in my particular setup that this value works just fine, and gets them synced up. So we'll save that. And now we'll play a test file. This command should play the file that's in this directory. No, we're not in playlist mode yet. I'm just playing a single file. Let it start up. And now you can hear the test file, and the lights are blinking. Alright, let's play a stream through LightShowPi. Let's go to Shoutcast, and let's look for Christmas, and I like the look of this one, so I'll get the PLS, and then I will activate it.
Your first channel to create your own multi-mix combination. Great for
Now,
focusing, studying, relaxing, meditating, and eating.
I'll mute that. I will look at tools, media information. Now this is the stream that you need, so I'm going to copy that. And then look at the codec, just if you're curious. It's probably going to be 44-100 and stereo. You'll need that information as well. Now, different media players will have your stream information in different places. I was just showing you VLC. I like it as a free media player. So we'll go into overrides config again, and go down to mode. Now we'll comment out this mode equals playlist because we're going to set the mode to something else. I'm going to set the mode to stream in. Now this is just a placeholder for your stream address, and then we'll paste from what we just had over the last screen. And next thing you need to do is go down here, and this is the other information that we gathered. 2 for stereo and 44-100 as your sample rate. And we'll save that. Alright, let's give this a test run now. I have my FM still set up, so I will turn on my radio. I will start the program. And I see lights flashing. And I hear music. So everything seems to work. Alright, now let's say you wanted to use streaming with AirPlay. Google Shareport Sync, and you want to go to GitHub, download zip, Copy link address. Alright, now download and unzip CD to your home directory, and then wget, right click for that file, and unzip master.zip.1, which is what was just downloaded here, and then go into the Shareport Sync master directory. Okay, now this is a compilation and not exactly simple, so it's advisable that you view the readme.md file, and you'll find in there a list of things that you would need to install to get this to work. There are a series of instructions, auto reconf, and then configure, and then make, and I will go through those. But you really need to read the README file to get a good idea of what's going on. The important thing is that you use configure with standard out. If you don't do that, it's not going to work at all. Okay, now we install the dependencies. The first 4 lines in the README file of dependencies, and make sure you prepend sudo to them. Get the build essential, get the extra libraries, and this just means that they've already been installed. That probably won't happen on your system. It'll probably go through a asking you to confirm with a yes. And so that was the zeroconf daemon, and then SSL. Now once all that's on there, then you can do which is in the README right below it. Alright, now that that's done, we can configure. These are important. -- with standard out, -- with Avahi, -- with SSL equals open SSL. And this will take a little bit. And when that's done, you can sudo make, and this is relatively quick. And then sudo make install, which will put everything in its proper place. Almost done. And that's it. Okay, now to the config file again, the LightShowPi directory, config overrides.cfg. Comment this out. We don't need this from the last example. And then uncomment this. We'll be using Shareport Sync. Save it, and then run synchronize lights. Turn on my radio. Select the Raspberry Pi as the AirPlay device and play. Now I'll probably have to turn up the volume. That works. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and have a good one.